You wake up, and it's the 1st of January 2020, retaining all knowledge since then. How do you change the outcome of the year? I move my car, so it doesn't get towed like it did on January 1st. The beginning of the butterfly effect that started all this mess. Actually, there's more. After we got the car back, we went to eat Chinese food. Then we went skiing. So basically Chinese food was involved, and it was downhill ever since. Stand in the middle of town with a piece of cardboard with the end is "Ni" written on it in a Sharpie, shouting at people about how the rapture is coming. That ought to do it. As an individual, there's not a damn thing I can do to change the general outcome. The only thing I can do is use the knowledge for my own personal advantage. Tesla stock would be the most obvious one. But I'd also use the extra time to ward off health complications. I'd quit smoking that day instead of in mid-September. And I would immediately start eating better and watching my salt intake. I had a minor stroke in early November. So changing my habits 10 months early might prevent that from happening. Radical lifestyle changes 10+ months in advance would definitely have completely prevented, or at least reduced, your health complications. Hindsight really is something. I say this as a smoker and pizza eater. Shit, I eat pizza too. Fuck, I'm eating pizza right now. Start applying at other jobs immediately and quit my current one before May. That's when those assholes told me we are taking my $1.25 extra away and docking me for the overpayment for the past 5 months. Docking me for the overpayment for the past 5 months. That's illegal and you should reported them to the Department of Labor. I completely agree. But at the time I didn't know and was fed up with the company. What had happened was I was hired at maximum pay for my role there. After everyone had their evaluation and gained levels, I was the last to be evaluated and already knew I couldn't proceed further in pay. But as my superintendent and manager both put it, "You saved us over $70,000 year to date in parts, labor and downtime," and signed off on a $1.25 raise. They changed owners and the new corporate learned of it and passed down that decision. Honestly, should have got a lawyer that day. I was mad. The community was falling apart with corona, but I landed a job for $7.88 more an hour soon after. If not for that, I hate to say, I probably would have grudgingly still been there. Edit. I also work in a right to work state. I believe you mean you work in an at-will employment state, which is about your right to quit at any time and the company's right to fire you at any time with no reason required. Right to work laws are in regards to union relations. Regardless, neither apply to wage theft, and if I were you, would find every piece of documentation, email, payslips I could find, and still talk to a lawyer as soon as possible. Arnold, but I won't be surprised if you're owed back pay. I bet it all on the Jets to beat the Rams. That way, I get to suffer through the entire year and have a big hurrah at the end. The Jets see that one person in the world bets on them. They get to cocky and lose the game. With my luck, that would 100% happen. Fuck that. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I just finished my thesis. I'm not pouring hundreds of hours again into that. Wouldn't it be faster since you wrote it once already? Well, yes. Kinda. But I don't wanna write those 80 pages in a scientific language ever again. I'll do it for you, but in funny language. I've seen this question so many times that maybe I'm continuously waking up on the 1st of January 2020, Groundhog Day. So put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, rise and shine, campers, and don't forget your booties, cause it's cold out there. Move to New Zealand. I have the issue that even with all the knowledge, I still wouldn't have the money to move or even visit New Zealand. See, this is why I'm memorizing the winning numbers for a lottery draw. May as well get ahead, right? Knowing me, I'd buy the ticket for the drawing after that. I mean, Powerball is what, 2x a week? Just remember the numbers and play them every single draw until you've won. Cost you $104 worst case if it's the last draw of the year. I'd tell my mom not to go for that contrast dye cord scan. She went into anaphylactic shock and passed away 24 hours later. Ugh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Having been in an anaphylactic shock before, I know there is no gray area. You get through it or you don't. I was at an allergy clinic and they gave me 2 epinephrine shots, but things weren't looking good for a bit. Sorry for your loss. I'm investing in Tesla, Zoom and Instacart, then grabbing my entire family and hopping the next flight to New Zealand. Bitcoin grew quite a lot too. Diversifying is only risk reduction. Find whatever grew the most and invest everything in it. You already know the outcome. Exactly. With perfect foresight. Buying anything but whatever grew the most is wasted opportunity. There's probably a minor crypto coin that grew 20,000% or something. It can't be too minor, because then it might have a significant impact on the market. It is a parallel timeline, not the same. You could probably purchase millions in Tesla stock without anyone noticing, but if the market is too small there may be a different outcome. Considering what I learned about someone a few moments ago, I'd warn them to not duck around in their lab during the end of November/beginning of December. Friend died December 1st from a lab accident. Monitor fell on their foot. Then medical complications and they died. Actually sad. Just learned about it now. Isn't that how the DirectX creator died? Weird. That is who I was referring to, and I just learned this morning he died December 1st. I haven't spoken to him since September. We spent an hour on the phone bullshitting about drones and his ideas for them and the doody. That's him though. He had all sorts of crazy ass ideas that I actually loved listening to and thought he could pull off. Wait, to clarify, you knew the creator of DirectX, that guy? Well, considering no one would believe me, make the same stock trades as Congress. Congrats on going to jail, unlike Congress. If I could go back, I would talk to my dad every single day. He just passed away unexpectedly a couple weeks ago, and I miss him. Hugs, I'm sorry for your loss. Invest in Zoom. Buy toilet paper. Smuggle some face masks and hand sanitizer. 2. January. Both were pretty readily available. I run the duck away from everyone and build a secluded shack in the woods away from society. Go and stay over at my GF's house a day before lockdown and get stuck there for the foreseeable future. I know a lot of people that got stuck in lockdown with their partners that are now no longer with those partners because of it. Going from not living with each other to 24/7 with each other is a strain some relationships just can't take. Hell, it was hard even for couples living together already. It's one thing to live together but still have lives outside each other. It's another to work from home and have to stay at home, because even if you wanted to do something everything was closed. I would get my mom a plane ticket to come visit in February so that I could get married instead of having to put off a wedding 2+ times / indefinitely, because both my mom and Mill can't bear the idea of us eloping. It's been a really scary year, constantly being worried about what would happen if either of us lost a job / health insurance or fell gravely ill without the legal protections of being married. Maybe I'm projecting, since my sister lost her partner this year in the midst of rescheduling their wedding, but elope and don't tell them. I'm so sorry for your loss. We've got plans to go down to the court house if things don't improve in a few months. If that happens, I'll be thinking of you, kind internet stranger. My son postponed his wedding earlier this year. As a parent, let me also advise you to get married as soon as possible. Don't tell the family. Have a wedding for them later, but get legally protected now, please. Yes, the marriage JS for the couple, no one else. If nothing, go get your papers signed and make it official. Tell the fam you will have a family event when everything gets back to normal. Remember, the marriage is for you and the so, no one else. I tell my dad not to back off of his chemo. He died in September. Sorry dude. Thanks. It's been a shit year for everyone. Hoping for the best for 2021. Thanks man. Fine doc. Get in the DeLorean and go further back in there, because it's too late to stop COVID-19 by then. Also, load up on psychedelic penny stocks which are starting to blow up. I would get my dad to a hospital as soon as possible. we would have 30 days to treat him and possibly prevent the stroke that took his life. I miss and think about him every day, especially coming into the holidays. Quit my essential job and get a non-essential one instead, so I can make more money off the 600/week unemployment benefits while not having to expose myself to the general public every damn day. Then invest mad cash as soon as the stock market tanks. I'm kicking myself for not doing this. I went as far as to open a brokerage account, but my anxiety was through the roof at that point and I couldn't pull the trigger. Like you/ecosystems said, I'll liquidate, borrow and dump everything into Tesla. Next, I write out everything that will happen that year. I write it on paper and post it on my socials and write it up in a Reddit post. I'll let the posts get downvoted and lost in obscurity until the chain of events began. People will take notice of it. Investors will use it as a guiding tool. The news will want to interview me. I will only send them cryptic replies back and deny in-person interviews. I will then write a book about my experience being sent back in time and then make public appearances to promote it, give answers and make $sign. I actually work hard in school so that I don't flunk up my junior year the following school year. At last, someone thinking the same way. Where I live, 10th grade is a crucial year and it defines you and the future you will have. I had started studying really well in the 1 month of actual school, and by the time online school started, I lost all motivation. I only actually studied for a month since April. I have wasted 8 months of my life. I have never felt more like shit and I don't think I know how to study and retain information anymore. I feel the same exact way, bro. Once we went online, I just completely lost motivation. If class got boring, I could just browse social media on my phone. If we had homework, I could work on it during other classes. I'm in a few app classes, so it's a really high standard and once you miss an assignment, the amount of overdue work just builds up. Now, I'm failing 2 of my classes and I have C's and B's in courses that I should be doing really well in. It's really depressing. My parents are disappointed in me and my teachers keep emailing me because they think I'm suicidal or something. I know it's all my fault for letting my laziness and procrastination get the better of me, but honestly, duck the virtual learning. It would be so much easier if things went back to normal. Yep, tried to pay attention for a week or 2 and then completely gave up. I've had a few 100 mark exams and I've cheated in every single one of them and it's extremely depressing. The sad part is that I know I'm smart enough to get better marks than what I'm getting by cheating if I work just a bit harder. Just want a complete redo of this year. Best of luck to you, mate. Hope you do better than whatever I'm doing. I'm trying to do better though, so there's that. I'll make 100% accurate prophecies and get rich af. Get to know him better. Call him my brother-in-law just once. Hug him tighter. Ask if he's okay. Tell them to elope. Don't tell her I'm in love with her, even though I am. Order the exercise bike much earlier. Don't join Twitter, or at least refuse the group chat invitation. Again. Realize soon a real friendship includes balanced effort and little to no manipulation. The first 2 paragraphs are unrelated. I hope. Emphasis on the unrelated. I won't bring my abusive husband with me when I move back to my father's house after reconciling with my family. He'll leave sooner because I know I can do it now. Results. I start taking better care of myself when I get away. Get a restraining order and a divorce before he beats me nearly to death for the 3rd time. My snakes don't die to him. He never shoots my dog. I buy my car by myself without his name on it, and he never blows out the engine in a fit of spite. All I can really say is I'm sorry. That really sucks to go through. I hope you're doing okay. Keep my mouth shut and relive the year. This has been the best year of my adult life. Free from the shackles of the rat race. Almost 0 time spent sitting in traffic twice a day. Working from home. Managing my own time. Plenty of time for my hobbies. Plenty of time to spend with family. Healthy sleeps. Home cooked healthy meals all the time. I don't see how I could improve on this. Go and travel to see an old friend before he dies of brain cancer in April. don't bother booking that birthday trip to Venice in March or vacation in August. Buy a Kindle sooner than I did. Order the kids laptops before the prices shot up. The pandemic emergency kit I put together in March came in useful, but was overkill, so scale that down a bit. A blink. Buy Amazon, Zoom and Tesla shares. Give George Floyd a real $20 bill. Had to scroll too far for this. But yep. This. I know where I would spend Memorial Day. I wonder what kind of butterfly effect it would have though. Probably would need to spend the rest of the year following Chauvin, the highest ranking officer, around trying to get him fired, so he can't just end someone else's life instead. Hey PSSST. Please subscribe and like.